And I came around the corner on my 39 Indian Ford, just the way I rode down the street with saddlebags and headlight, everything on it. And just as I come around the corner, here's 3 machines dragging out. And then there's a Harley 61 and a Harley 45 next to him. And so I pulled the 4 back in second real quick, and I'm gaining. I went right on by the Harleys, and I'm gaining on Kretz. And by then, we were running about 70 miles an hour in second. And I got over on his left side. My front wheel was about even with his rear wheel. And he looks over his shoulder and sees these Harleys behind. He tucks in, and he didn't shut off for the turn, and he went down, and Kretz somehow managed it. There were about 6 or 7 guys went down altogether. Jimmy Kelly, who was Kretz's good buddy, never raced after that. He went over the rail, and 2 Harley guys got killed, and Kretz managed to get his way through all that stuff, and later.
Each year in Australia, an ancient feud begun in a distant land is kept alive by a zealous group of men and women on vintage motorcycles. It's a serious rivalry, almost a friendly rivalry, and it has a name. Harley-Davidson versus Indian, the great race. But really it's Harley-Davidson and Indian, and a proud history stretching back almost to the beginning of the motorcycle versus the forgetfulness of history. To keep that spirit alive, the faithful come together from all over the world. The Great Race is more than a mere competition, but a ritual, a weekend-long structured series of events that begins with a pilgrimage. Its purpose is not necessarily the victory of one party over another. The Great Race and all that surrounds it is not meant to manufacture commercial advantage or even to manufacture a hero, because the real heroes are the bikes. The antagonism goes back to the beginnings of the motorcycle itself and stretches forward 50 years. Let's not underestimate it. Like 2 competitive brothers, Harley and Indian, each defined themselves in relation to the other. They measured their progress against the other. It was a relationship of open hatreds, culminating in brawls of the most physical kind, and secret admiration that led to imitation. From the beaches of Daytona to the deserts of California, the sibling rivalry continued unabated. Indian ceased manufacture in 1953, but the spirit of the feud that defined the history of the motorcycle itself has been resurrected in Australia by Peter Arundel and David Reidie.
What kindled my interest in Harleys was 1969. Easy Rider the movie. Peter Fonda, Dennis Hopper, fantastic.
In 1972, I rode my first Indian motorcycle, which belonged to a friend of mine in the same area as where I was living at the time.
In the 70s, I used to read an army disposal magazine by a company named Valentine's, and they used to advertise all this Indian stuff. The New Zealand Army had Indians in the Second World War. I learned a bit about them. They didn't really grab me.
Basically, I'm an Indian person. I knew that Harley were around at the time, but I just decided to choose the Indian, which I found a more superior machine.
I'd heard of this builder bloke from Camberwell that had all these Indians. One day this guy came into the showroom and showed me a photo of his bike. Crikey, it was a factory Daytona racer.
I first met David in the early 90s, which I approached him over a joint venture for an overseas business, and then after that we started to talk about each other's collections, which we had a lot of heated discussions at the time, and that led on to the start of the Great Race.
Over a couple of bottles of red one evening, Peter and I were convinced that there was a need for a premier event featuring the 2 marques that we were so passionate about.
And we knew there wasn't any other events of this sort in Australia or overseas, and because of the rivalry that had been going for the last century, we thought it'd be a good idea to start an event such as the Great Race.
The reason for the Great Race was to get American classic motorcycles out being used and enjoyed by both the riders and spectators in a manner that we felt they deserved.
The main reason why the Great Race was started, because of there's a lot of passion between the two brands, between myself and David Reidie, and we wanted to encourage people to get their bikes out of the shed and on the roads, which I think
Unlike Indian, Harley-Davidson has no problem staying alive in our collective mind. Harley-Davidson has become more than a bike. It's an archetype. It inhabits our consciousness as a symbol of unfettered freedom, of quality, of longevity. Indian hasn't been so lucky, but these people are here to tell you that that isn't the point. To the motorbike enthusiast, this is the stuff of legend. Harley versus Indian is a creation story that gives sense and meaning to the very act of riding a motorcycle. A myth that gives the motorcycle something every enduring pastime needs, something that separates the serious from the rest. This rivalry gives motorcycling the hardcore.
Actually, this seems like every time I see it, there's Kananga Hill involved.
As you can see, the hardcore Harley or Indian rider fits no particular profile. Some are hardened riders like Indian icon Max Bubeck, here to celebrate the 100th year of Indian. But the stars of the show will always be the bikes.
Harley built a handful of DAHs, mostly for hill climbing, a couple for road racing. First ones were built in late 1929 and the last in 1933. This is a 1933 model, the only one we know of in existence.
this particular bike is a 1924 factory 8-valve racer. Rhodes Motors imported this one from America, which was used at Selleck's Beach in South Australia, where it attained a speed of 125 miles per hour. Very rare today. They made probably 4 or 5 of these bikes, and this one's engine number is A61-4, which was the 4th one produced.
That's fantastic. Hey, the boys have done real good, haven't they? Beautiful. Lovely.
Like all stars, the bikes generate endless discussion, endless admiration, photo opportunities, and merchandise. Every culture worth its salt needs a dignified ritual with a French name and rules incomprehensible to the uninitiated. The Great Race has the concours, or to be even more French about it, the concours d'élégance.
Our concours is a bike show where the machines are judged for originality and correctness as they would have left the factory. Every part of the bike is examined by 4 qualified judges and scored accordingly. At the end of the day, a machine can score 100 points. The winning bikes at this concours will probably get 97 or 98 points. There is 4 categories, 4 lucky winners today. They can rightly say they have a winner's circle machine if they get a trophy at this concours.
The concours, held before the Great Race at David Reidie's Harley City in Brunswick, is the greatest collection of knuckleheads and panheads you'll ever see. And in this world, that's a compliment. All entries have been lovingly restored by expert hands to their original glittering splendour. And the winners feel as privileged as Moses the day he received the Big Ten. As this reenactment of that very event shows. Finally, the day of the race. Elwood Beach goes about its daily business, oblivious to the momentous occasion it hosts.
The Gold 10 forecast for the world's most livable city, mainly fine with sunny breaks before a late shower or 2, a top of 23. A few showers and 18 tomorrow and Tuesday, clearing showers. Riders
from all walks of life and species descend on sunny Elwood in preparation for the start. The air fills with strange, unfamiliar sounds, an echo of a world long gone.
It's one of a kind in the world.
My name's Tony Blay, and I'm from Sydney, and this is my 5th or 6th great race, and a group of us have come down to compete this weekend. We've got a lot. Every year that we do it, we learn of something that we should be doing better, and hopefully this year we can lift the game a little bit. We always tend to treat it as a race, and our goal is this year to be a little more concise on our timing. So we'll see how we go after the event. I think it's probably similar to Ford and Holden. If you've had anything to do with Bathursts or any of them, you know, you pick your mark. Certainly in the Harley Indian thing, I think we get equal amount of fun of putting words and abuse, if you will, on each other. We're actually really good friends. And on race day, however, there's a glint in the eye and both teams want to kick the other's butt, you know. Reidie. There's a redskin on over there, some redskins on the Harley seats.
Yeah, hi, we're David and Denise from Sydney. We've always enjoyed Indians, and I've bought one for my wife, and we've just come down here to Melbourne just for the great race. And they've just got a great look about them. I can see a Harley any day of the week, but an Indian's very rare, and when you do see it, it's a head turner. Yeah, well, it's just a long-standing rivalry that they've had, Harley and Indian, and I've always enjoyed Indians. I think they're a little bit more unique, and just having the chance to have a race against them and meet people and
Dave, the police
go
are here to
forth.
take you away now.
Oh, okay, mate, right.
Yes,
that's
it's
it.
just a lot of fun, and just seeing all the really nice bikes here. There's no rivalry for me at all. It's just get out and have a good time on the bikes.
And do not smoke around the old vehicles. Confident and so cocky. They won all the concourse yesterday. They won everything. Clean sweep of the concourse. They're very cocky and very confident. Every year I go out with the Indian riders, they get me drunk and I start saying that Indians are the best. And that happened the other night, but I've come to my senses now. I'm sober and I am #1 Harley Davidson. They will win today. Be sure that's going to make it.
It's a Harley Davidson.
What more can he say? It's a Harley Davidson.
Hi, my name's Paul Bailey. I've been involved with Harleys for over 20 years now, and racing Harleys for the last 15 years. To me personally, it means getting older Harleys out and being seen. Now, I've just restored a 1925 model Harley as a bobber, like a custom. There's guys here that got original restorations, the guys who got original bikes out here. It's bringing those bikes out so they can be seen on both sides of the camp, either Harley or Indian. Oh, my first experience with a Harley was, I was in the police force for 22 years, and I actually had to take a Harley back to the station for a bloke that I locked up. And I'd never ridden one before that and loved it. Just loved the simplicity of them, and then I bought my own. In my opinion, it's just the Indians trying to keep themselves alive. The company folded in '53, so what can you say?
In the red jumper, he'll talk business with you all day. So he's in front of me now.
Every year a new course is devised for the riders, and it's Melbourne's best kept secret. Now, the secret is revealed to the contestants.
Horse Car Club. Roslyn is a racing car driver. What a legend, Roslyn.
Paper for each checkpoint. So when you come in, you've got checkpoint 1, you've got 2 options for each checkpoint. You have to give them the right piece of paper with your answer. Okay? So you'll have here, the questions are here, all right?
Can you mark the right one for us, Steve?
Yeah. Like the questions are on the bottom here. Question 1, that. Question 2, question 3, all right? So when you get this, put on your phone.
I'm Steve Harry.
My name's Cynthia Lopez. I'm lucky enough to ride one of Pete's Scouts along this great race, and I managed to get a passenger in the great race last year, which was good fun.
Yeah, well, all the guys come into the shop and they really get enthused about their bikes. It's very important to them, and so it's important to me to keep their bikes going as best as I can. I don't know why they have this disregard for Harleys. It's just rubbed off onto me. I don't particularly like Harleys either now. So it's important to not let the boys down. I like the shape of the Indian as well. Technical advances are one thing. The Harleys obviously got technically better after Indian had finished production, but year for year, the Indians are just a nicer package. The primary drives are made of aluminium, not tin. They don't leak as much as Harleys do. Better bike, I think.
Here we go. Feeling confident, Michael?
Fit as a fiddle. This year will be our year. The weather is with us, everything's with us. And I won't make it.
The great race has something else in common with other cultures, the obligatory stickler for the rules. The hard-working guy with most of the official duties who makes the rules and polices them. Now these blokes take many forms. In the biker world, he takes the form of Stacks.
The Great Race is a reliability and observation run for the old Indians and Harleys. Prior to departure on the day, the riders are given a map which shows them the course and a set of instructions. The course is divided into stages for which they must average a set speed. They also have to find the answers to questions around the way. Marshals at the checkpoints record their times in, their times out, and forward these results back to the finish line. At the end of the day, the 4 poorest scores from each team are dropped, and then the scores are all tallied to give the team results and the best individual results for the riders of each team. GROT, Great Race Official Team, and of course, as with any organisation, behind the Great Race there's a dedicated band of people out there working their butts off. The marshals at the checkpoints, and they're checking the riders in, checking them out and recording the times and the answers to their questions. All of these results are then forwarded down to the finish line where there's a band of people manning the computers. The results are entered into the computers, which then print out the results later in the day. Rivalry between the two teams over the years has been huge, with the Indian team deploying tactics such as raiding parties early in the morning to disrupt the Harley team. The Harley riders tend to go all out for huge carburettors, lots of speed and much tyre burning. Both the teams have over the years experimented with electronic timing devices and other fancy toys which we've had to take off them. But at the end of the day, they can all still sit down and enjoy a beer while the results are being read out. The Great Race for me is a huge challenge on the day, of course, but what I like to see most is those superb old machines and their riders out there on the road under all conditions, in all weathers, managing their way around a course that they don't know that I've set that's quite devious, and then finding their way to the finish line and having a big party at the end. For me, that sums it up.
Stacks. Without him, it wouldn't be an event. And he does probably more than Dave and I combined on the back burner, organising the course, doing the marshalling. He's just a fantastic, real character. MC on the day. He's just does everything, and just without a complaint, just fantastic to have. We're just lucky to have somebody like that guy.
Great race bikes.
Harley or Indian?
Has a flat battery. Peter, we need that 6-volt battery for the backup vehicle. Can you please make your way to the...
Much better. Right away.
Stacks' decrees are the only tools of navigation, so they need to be in front of the riders at all times. The riders have fixed them to their bikes in their own ways. Finally, the hours of preparation, restoration and regulation are over, and the riders are ready to begin. Every question has been answered, except one. Who will win? Harley? Or Indian?
After about the 4th,
So the riders head off over the speed humps of Elwood Beach and onto the open road to distant Portsea.
Rabbit Murphy, commonly referred to as, yeah, just Rabbit. Why am I involved in a race? Mate, I just love old bikes, the people. Yeah, I've owned that bike 25 years, 26 years. Good time to bring it out, let everybody have a look at it, clown around a bit, play up, run amok. It's all part of it, you know, just enjoying yourself. Yeah. Why Harleys? I think it all started 69, seeing Easy Rider. Even before that, it was I was in the back of the old man's FJ Ute, and a Harley came up beside me. I was only a little tacky, you know. And all of a sudden, it was just like, wow, that's what I want to do, you know. I want to ride a bike and be a badass shithead, you know. Well, that's the optimum word, isn't it? Enthusiast. Like there's badass bikers and there's yuppie shitheads, and then you got enthusiasts, you know. And all these guys just love the old bikes, love getting out. They all drink piss, they've all got arms and legs like everybody else, but they enjoy the old bikes a lot more than the new stuff. Mate, Indians have just got no time for my whole life. Indians have just, oh yeah, good looking tank badge, that's about as far as you can go. That's all they've got going for them, you know. The guys that ride Indians, well, they wear full face helmets and day glow suits, and they're just weird looking, aren't they? Just to go off their weird looking bikes. So yeah, Harley's best.
It's almost impossible to talk about Indian motorcycles without conjuring up the great Max Bubeck. Max has done great things for Indian, none greater than the speed record he set in 1948 for an unstreamlined Indian, 135.58 miles per hour. He achieved the feat on his unique Chout, the 101 Scout frame housing a chief engine. Max, who was inducted into the Motorcycle Hall of Fame in 1999, was 84 at the time of the 2001 Great Race. But he doesn't see the sense in sitting around being a living monument. He practiced hard for the 2001 race, and like his fully restored bikes, hopes to be a feature of the Great Race for many years to come.
I'm riding a 42 Indian Sports Scout, which is a very special machine because I built it for my brother back in 1948. And I had it a long time after he died, and then Peter came over to the US of A, and he wanted it, and I had more motorcycles than I could ride, so I sold it to him, and I said, now when I come to Australia, I'll have something to ride. And I do, and I love it.
Yeah, my name's Steve Mowat. I've been involved in the race right from the start. Dave asked me if I'd be interested in going in the first one, and I was. And it's turned out to be a great event, and so I keep doing it. That is the best thing. I think it gets people talking to each other, preparing their bikes, actually riding them, using them, and having fun on them. And that's the whole point. Having them sit in the shed's a waste of time. Well, Harley I'm riding tomorrow. First knucklehead I ever seen, and I fell in love with it. I had to buy it. A lot of hard work to get it, a lot of hard work to get where it is today, you know. I just love Harleys. If I had to fall in love with an Indian, it might have been the other way around. Well, good chance to stir somebody up, isn't it? It's got to be good for anybody.
In your case, stirring Indian riders up?
Yeah, all good natured. I think earlier on there was some definite bad blood between the two, but
long time ago.
Good chance to stir people up, have a bit of fun.
The Great Race now enters its most gruelling phase, the test of endurance, that is the steep, winding climb up Arthur's Seat. Can these ageing veterans keep their dignity in 21st century traffic? More importantly, can the riders keep their dignity?
Well, I'm Corky Coker. I'm from Chattanooga, Tennessee, in the great United States of America, but I'm pleased to be here in Melbourne supporting vintage racing. One of the most important things that this rally means to me is that people are out riding their motorcycles. Me specifically, because I'm a tire dealer and I love to see people wear out those tires. You know, one of the most fun things that I see in Australia is that there's such a passion for this race and rallying and riding the motorcycles, and you know, I really wish that we would have a little bit more passion in the United States, and I wish that these folks from Australia would come over and teach us how to do it, because you guys do it right. Well, there is a big rivalry here in Australia between Harley and Indian, and you know, quite honestly, I love both Harleys and Indians. I've got a bunch myself, but this year I'm riding Indians, and you better watch out, guys. We're going to win this year.
Coming into a checkpoint is like sitting an exam. Fail and you play catch-up for the rest of the race. Pass and victory will be within your grasp. The riders now have a better idea of their chances, and both parties are confident.
Halfway through.
My name's Kyle Gibson, and my daughter Makira, and been involved in the great race pretty well from the start. I missed the first one, but been there every one since, and thoroughly enjoy it. Some say if you don't know, you won't understand. That's what it is, isn't it, Rab? Snob?
That's great.
Yeah. The first Harley I rode was my own. You know, I find, and to me that's unique. In the rivalry is very healthy, and each year we seem to get to know each other better, and I think that makes for a bit more ribbing. But the fact that the Indian plant went belly up, and you know, that's all documented, so that means we've got the upper hand on them, and the Harleys are still pumping bikes out, as popular as ever. You can usually pick the Indian riders by the way they dress, isn't it? Their outfits are more colourful, but beige, sometimes beige.
Stax's devious plan claims a few victims, and they wander the streets in a state of utter confusion. Events like the Great Race are not only inspiration for the mechanical artists of the world. Gai Dutton is an automotive artist who was commissioned by the organisers to capture the spirit of the Great Race on canvas. From her Richmond studio, Gai's worked as hard on bringing the Great Race to the world as anyone involved in it.
This painting for the Great Race was a wonderful challenge because it included so many aspects of the actual race day. The race scene at the Portsea Hotel, the flyover, the excitement after the race, and of course the great rivalry between the Indian motorcycles and also the Harley-Davidson motorcycle teams. So it was quite a challenge to create a composition that was balanced and yet had all these various interesting and exciting elements of the day.
That day, along with the Great Race, ends with a celebration at the landmark Portsea pub. As they arrive at the Portsea pub, the Harley and Indian riders are a study in contrast. Two very different cultures come together to celebrate one, and its name is the Great Race. Back out on the course, David and Denise work to secure the coveted wooden spoon.
Nice course, David. Yeah, nice one. Yeah.
Up into a climb, into a roll, over inverted, back to horizontal. You'd almost think I know how to fly one of these. I fly toy ones, I fly model ones. I sort of know what I'm talking about.
1918 J model. Joining link on the rear chain got a little loose and we lost a nut, which meant a little bit of roadside repair, but other than that, from the start to the finish, went superbly. So for an 18 model, I'm really excited at having finished the great race and having done it so in such a fashion that it's so old and running so well.
Mine's a 1925 model, about the second oldest bike, I suppose, Tony. I'm especially pleased because I also built the 18 that Tony rode. With his help and support, we were able to build two bikes, and it went fantastic the whole way. Stopped and helped Tony with his minor little problem, and the bike just powered the whole way. Up that peak, wherever it is, what's it called, mate?
What's that?
Arthur's Seat, yeah. The thing flew up there, scraping the floorboards, the whole bit. It was great, fantastic, good fun. We should be, I'm hoping, on top. Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to ask us who do we hope wins, Harley Davidson, of course, but I reckon it'll be pretty tight. I think it'll be an exciting finish.
Well, Indians are supposed to win, they always do, but every once in a while there's an upset, so we'll find out pretty soon.
We've had a very successful day here. I rode down on a Harley Davidson 1954 anniversary model, and I feel that we had a pretty good run, very successful. So when the results come out shortly, I think it'll be all Harley's way. So we'll just wait and see.
But let me tell you something, the Indians won today because I found bolts and I got some oil. I was riding behind a Harley rider and I got oil on me today. So without a doubt, the Indians won today and it's a beautiful ride.
1938 Knucklehead, highly modified, best bike here. I'd have to say myself, like I wouldn't bullshit anybody. Had a fat time, done some good times, had a ball going up half a seat. Yeah, I love that hill, it's really good fun. Yeah, no, we flogged them.
Yeah, we saw plenty of Harleys breaking down and certainly going the wrong way. So it's looking pretty good for us at the moment. Yeah, they were practicing down here a few weeks ago, so it's certainly slowed down. So I believe that they were in with a better
have more
show.
of a chance this year.
Yeah, better chance than they usually have. They've actually learned to calm down and have a better go. So we'll see.
I rode a 1938 Knucklehead, a little Harley bobber, and it went exceptionally well. No problems whatsoever in that respect. I'm quietly confident that the result will be Harley. I've seen too many bloody Indians on the side of the road. Well, not enough Indians, but quite a lot of them. And yeah, I'm quietly confident that we should do well.
Well, I'll tell you, Indian are 2 in front now, and today makes it 3.
Expectations on both sides are high.
Hawk, which is a New York police bike. It's done 14,000 original miles. It's got the siren and stuff, you probably heard it. We had a good ride, nice day, very lucky with the weather, and I stopped at the first intersection and found Harley parts on the road, so I hear there's 4 Harleys didn't make it, so I think we pretty much got it in the bag. What do you think?
On a 1952 FL, I think the race went well, the weather's fantastic, a good turnout of people. Harley's going to win.
Yeah, well, Denise rode a 28 Scout and I rode the 44 Chief. and I just basically led from the start. We got a bit lost.
Yeah, just a little bit, didn't we?
Yeah,
We got back in there again.
completely lost. Anyway, back onto it, and I just led, and Denise just followed behind in my tyre tracks, and the Scout will only do about 45 mile an hour, so we just plodded along and up the hills.
Yeah, Arthur's chair was great riding, really nice, enjoyed that.
Got a bad dose of fuel.
Yeah, it was
Coughed and spluttered
coughing
for
and
a while
spluttering a
there.
little bit, but it sort of cleared itself out, so it was going fine after that. But it was very enjoyable. It was a terrific ride.
Yeah, it's
Had a great
At least some people's expectations are high.
We might get the wooden spoon award. You never
we'll
know.
hang around for it.
I can tell you that the prize is for the third best individual performance on the day for the Harley team, with a loss of only 4 points across the whole event. Brendan Dow, where are you, Brendan? Brendan picks up a superb watch from Brakes Plus. These Brakes Plus watches are very collectible. Thanks very much to John Rippon from Brakes Plus for putting that on for us. The third place Indian rider with a loss of only 5 points. The scores, I've got to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, the scores are extremely high today. Les Dew from the Indian team. He picks up this fabulous book, Antique American Motorcycle Buyer's Guide, and provided for us by Lindsay from Wigwag Engineering. Thank you very much, Lindsay, and well done, Les, for that. Second place, Harley rider, Tom Yo. Tom from Harley City. Where are you, Tom? Tom picks up a prize from Garner's Hire Cycles, and Tom picks up a scale model knucklehead engine. Is that the one? That's the one. Tom, well done.
Got his boss. Thanks very much. All right, thank you.
Second prize for the Indian team, and the prize is a Franklin Mint 442 Indian 4-cylinder model, stunning model, and that is provided by Heavy Duty Magazine. Max Bubeck.
I hate second place. Second place is the first loser.
John Rippon. First place, Harley team today. John goes home with a prize sponsored by Tui's, the toolkit, the Joe Petrali Knucklehead Racer model. First place for the Indian team. Best Indian performance today, Rod Barker. Where are you, Rod? Rod's prize is sponsored by Coca Tyres, and it is a print of a Gay Dutton portrait of Max, who won second prize. I have one of these on my wall. It's a fabulous portrait of Max in his early days on the racing chart. This is a limited edition, number 8 of 50, only produced. And Rod, come up, accept this from us. Well done, mate.
All right, Rod!
It doesn't matter that it's an Indian rider who came in last. It could have just as easily been, it could have easily been a Harley rider or anything. But anyhow, Denise Fisher, where are you, Denise? Denise's prize, provided by Harley City. It's a fabulous book on how to do it, actually. It's a book written about a couple of chaps who rode a Harley around Australia in 1929, the hard way. Denise, what really happened?
David, it was his navigational skills.
Oh, you were just following David and it was his problem, was it?
Thank you.
Thanks everybody for the fantastic turnout. Stax mentioned that Peter and I were responsible. That's not the full story. The other very big piece is obviously this gentleman to my left, and I'd like to present him with a signed Jerry Hatfield book with a special mention to Stax in it from Jerry.
We have the trophy here. It's been won in the past in the 8 events that have been run. It's been won 5 times by Indian, 3 times by Harley. I'd like to introduce you Richard from Shannon's Insurance. See them about your classic vehicle insurance. Richard has the trophy and he has the score. Richard, the microphone's all yours.
Now, there's only one announcement that matters.
Before we announce the winner, just on behalf of all at Shannon's, it's been a great honour to be a part of such a very well organised event yet again. Talking to some great die-hard enthusiasts throughout the whole weekend, and I think there's quite a few of us that would agree it's not going to be too long before an event like this is on an international stage.
Sorry to that. Will Harley go some way toward bridging the 3-year deficit with a win? Or will Indian extend their lead? Will Harley's extra preparation for this year be in vain?
Alrighty, down to business. Okay, with a total score for the Indian team of 3,177, the Harley Davidson score of 3,249. So, David Reidie, congratulations. And over to David for a few words.
I can assure you by the closeness of the scores that we won't be resting on our laurels, and to ever even this series is going to be darn hard work. So we better start working on next year now, I think. Okay, but thanks guys, it was fantastic. It was really close all the way, but there was enough there to carry us through. Thank you.
Good on you, mate. We'll get you next year. Oh, well, fellow, we better go down gracefully here. Big asshole. Where's the big enough? Yeah, take one of Snacks's arms. Losing team! Hey guys, let's give them the old American mood. Come on! Trophies in the air. 1, 2, 3.
One brother lives on. The older brother died in 1953. But as long as the Indian ghost lives, Harley will go along with it to revisit those days of their youth, when they went toe to toe, blow for blow, admired each other, hated each other, and couldn't live without each other. The race is over. For another year, the contest will be forgotten. The combatants will become normal people again. But come this time next year, when the sibling rivalry is rekindled, the desire to be part of this great and timeless ritual will be as poignant and as powerful as only a century's worth of shared history can possibly be.
sure. Yep, you'll see me next time.
Yeah, it could be a bit of sabotage, couldn't it?
Another typical Harley part.
Oh, thing is it?
Making an Indian breakdown yet again.
Motorcycle people are nice people, even Harley riders.